There is a truth that most people never discover in their lifetime. Happiness is not an accident. It is not a gift that life hands you when circumstances align. It is a decision, a discipline, a state of mind you must build every single day. You see, happiness is not found in wealth alone, not in recognition, not in applause, not even in love from others. It is found in the quiet mastery of your own mind. It is found in the decision to rise each morning and declare, today, I will be in control of my thoughts, my emotions, and my actions. If you want peace, if you want strength, if you want to walk through your days with unshakable calm, you must push yourself to claim it. Because the truth is, the world will not hand you peace. The world will challenge you, test you, and sometimes even try to break you. Only the disciplined mind, the focused mind, the trained mind can look into the chaos of life and still remain calm, still remain strong, still remain happy. Every day, the moment you wake, you are standing at the edge of two roads. One leads to complaint, frustration, and weakness. The other leads to clarity, strength, and quiet joy. And whether you realize it or not, you are choosing that path with every thought you entertain, with every word you speak, and with every habit you repeat. Push yourself to rise above the noise. Push yourself to find something, anything to be grateful for the moment your feet touch the ground. Gratitude is the foundation of happiness. Without it, the smallest problem will consume your peace. With it, the greatest challenges become nothing more than stepping stones. Make it your duty to discipline your mind. Every negative thought that enters your mind must be met with strength. Every doubt must be replaced with belief. Every fear must be challenged with action. Do not wait for motivation to appear. Create it by moving, by building, by acting. Understand this. Happiness and peace are not passive rewards. They are achievements earned by those who refuse to be slaves to their circumstances. You cannot control the storms of life, but you can control the ship of your mind. If you want daily peace, create a daily system. Rise early. Feed your mind with words of strength and wisdom. Guard your mornings like a sacred temple, for how you begin your day determines how you live it. Take time to breathe, to think, to plan. Set your intentions not for comfort but for growth. Growth gives meaning to the soul. When you are growing, your mind cannot be consumed by fear or doubt. It is too focused on the next step, the next challenge, the next victory. Push yourself to serve others, even in small ways. There is a quiet happiness that only comes from lifting someone else, from knowing that your existence adds value to this world. Give, not because you expect something in return, but because the act itself strengthens your spirit. When your mind begins to spiral, when negativity tries to take hold, stop, breathe, remind yourself. The sins of others no longer control you. The storms of life no longer shake you. You stand tall, steady, calm, and powerful, a living example that happiness is not found, it is forged. So I challenge you today, push yourself to be happy, push yourself to choose peace, push yourself to strengthen your mind until it bends to no one but you, for when you master your mind, you master your life. And when you wake tomorrow and the world demands your attention, smile quietly to yourself and remember, peace and strength are not waiting to be found. They are already yours if you have the courage to claim them. Would you like me to expand this speech to a 30-minute script for a YouTube video in the same style? Here's the motivational speech in the powerful, disciplined tone you like, modeled in the classic style you prefer, without mentioning any author. Push yourself to be happy every day mindset, for daily peace and strength. Happiness is not an accident. It is not a gift handed to you by fate. It is a decision, a habit, a discipline you must choose every single day. You see, happiness is not found in wealth alone, not in recognition, not even in applause. It is born from the mastery of your own mind. It begins when you rise each morning and say to yourself, today I will take control of my thoughts, my emotions, and my actions. If you want peace, if you want strength, if you want to walk through each day unshaken, you must push yourself to claim it. Life will not deliver peace to your doorstep. It will test you, challenge you, sometimes break you. Only the disciplined mind can stand tall in chaos, remain calm under pressure, and find happiness where others see only turmoil. Every morning you stand at a crossroads. One road leads to frustration and weakness, the other to clarity, strength, and joy. And with every thought you allow, every word you speak, every habit you repeat, you choose your path. Push yourself to rise above the noise, find something, anything to be grateful for the moment you wake. Gratitude is the root of all peace. Without it, even small problems will steal your happiness. With it, the greatest storms become stepping stones to growth. Train your mind like a warrior. Negative thoughts will come, challenge them. Doubts will whisper, silence them with belief. Fear will knock, answer with action. Do not wait for motivation to arrive. Create it through movement, through progress, through discipline. Understand this. Peace and happiness are not accidents. They are built brick by brick, thought by thought, choice by choice. Create a system for daily strength. Rise early, feed your mind with wisdom and courage. Protect your mornings, for they set the tone for your day. Breathe, plan, act. Do not seek comfort, seek growth, for growth gives life its meaning, and a growing soul does not have time for fear or doubt. Push yourself to serve others, even in small ways. A simple act of kindness, a moment of giving, brings a quiet happiness no amount of wealth can buy. Give, not for recognition, but because it strengthens your spirit. And when negativity tries to invade your mind, stop, breathe, remind yourself, this is my life, my peace, my happiness, and nothing has the power to take it unless I allow it. Do this every day, not sometimes, not when convenient, but every day, for consistency builds strength, and strength builds peace. With time, you will notice the change. The noise of the world will fade. Opinions will lose their grip on you. Storms will no longer shake you. You will stand calm, steady, and strong. Proof that happiness is not found, it is forged. So today, push yourself to be happy. Push yourself to find peace. Push yourself to strengthen your mind until nothing outside of you controls you. Master your thoughts and you master your life. When tomorrow comes and the world demands your attention, smile to yourself and remember, peace and happiness are not waiting to be discovered. They are yours if you have the courage to claim them. Happiness, my friend, is not something that drifts into your life on the wings of luck or by the generosity of fate. It is not a gift that arrives without effort, nor is it a treasure buried somewhere in the distance waiting to be discovered. Happiness is a choice, a deliberate, conscious decision you must make every single day of your life. Until you understand this simple but profound truth, your search for peace and strength will always lead you in circles, leaving you tired, restless, and unfulfilled. Each morning, before the noise of the world begins to pour into your mind, you are standing at a crossroads. One road is familiar. It is the road of complaint, self-pity, and frustration. It is the road most people take because it requires nothing of them. No discipline, no control, no courage. But there is another road, less traveled, that demands more of you. It is the road of awareness, gratitude, and intention. To choose this road, you must rise each morning and declare, with quiet conviction, that you will own your day, that your happiness will not be left to chance or to the shifting winds of circumstance. Understand this, your mind is a garden, and every thought you allow to take root becomes a seed. If you neglect it, if you allow weeds of doubt, fear, and resentment to grow unchecked, you will harvest bitterness. But if you plant thoughts of gratitude, strength, and purpose, you will harvest joy no matter what storms come your way. Happiness is not the result of perfect conditions. It is the result of perfect focus. Every day you are tested. The world will throw distractions, setbacks, and disappointments at you, trying to pull you off balance, and in those moments, you must remember that happiness is not found in the event itself, but in your response to it. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control what happens within you. That is the first and greatest victory any person can claim, the victory over their own mind. Push yourself to think differently. Push yourself to rise above the reflex of negativity that so many people live in. The human mind is naturally drawn to problems, to pain, to what is missing, but you can train it with discipline and practice to see the good, to focus on the progress, to find the lesson in every challenge. This is not wishful thinking, it is deliberate construction. Just as an architect designs a building brick by brick, you must design your happiness thought by thought. When you wake in the morning, do not immediately surrender to the chaos of the world. Do not reach for your phone, do not dive into the noise. Sit in silence, if only for a few moments, and take command of your mind. Ask yourself, what will I choose today? What will I focus on? How will I show up for myself and for others? Those others who are still wandering in the dark. In this way, choosing happiness each day is not a selfish act. It is an act of service. Day by day, choice by choice, you will notice a shift. Where once you reacted in frustration, you now respond with patience. Where once you saw only problems, you now see opportunities. Where once you drifted aimlessly, you now move with clarity and strength. And that, my friend, is the power of a disciplined decision. The truth is simple, but most will never grasp it. You will not wake up one day and find happiness waiting for you. You must create it, protect it, and rebuild it when life tries to tear it down. And when you do this consistently, relentlessly, your mind becomes your strongest ally, your greatest source of peace, and your unshakable foundation for a life of daily strength. Gratitude is the hidden key that unlocks the doors to peace, strength, and true happiness. Without it, no success will ever feel complete. No achievement will ever satisfy your soul. You can climb to the highest peaks of wealth, fame, and power, but if gratitude is absent, your heart will remain restless, searching for something that it will never find. Each morning, before the demands of the world rush in, you are given a gift, the gift of a new day, yet most people never stop to recognize it. They wake up burdened by yesterday's failures or anxious about tomorrow's uncertainties, blind to the beauty of the moment they are in. Gratitude is the practice that clears your vision, that reminds you life in its simplest form is already a miracle. Happiness without gratitude is impossible, because gratitude is the foundation upon which peace is built. When you learn to see blessings where others see problems, to find opportunities where others see obstacles, you become untouchable by the chaos of life. Gratitude trains your mind to focus on what is good, what is strong, and what is possible. And in that focus lies strength, a quiet, unshakable strength that nothing outside of you can destroy. But gratitude is not something that appears on its own. Like a muscle, it must be exercised, practiced, and developed daily. When you wake, push yourself to name 3 things you are thankful for, no matter how small: the roof over your head, the breath in your lungs, the ability to start again. These simple acknowledgments create a ripple in your mind, shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, from weakness to power. Understand this: the mind cannot hold gratitude and fear at the same time. It cannot dwell in gratitude and anger simultaneously. Gratitude purifies your thoughts, sweeps away negativity, and opens the door for clarity and peace. When you fill your mind with appreciation, there is no room left for complaint, for bitterness, or for self-pity. The world will always present you with reasons to be frustrated. People will disappoint you, plans will fail, and circumstances will shift without warning. But gratitude gives you an anchor. When storms rage, it keeps you steady. When losses come, it reminds you of what still remains. When life tests your spirit, gratitude gives you the perspective to see the lesson within the trial. Think of the strongest people you have ever admired. They were not strong because life spared them from pain. They were strong because, even in the face of pain, they chose gratitude. They looked for meaning in suffering, they found lessons in loss, and they held tightly to the belief that even the darkest seasons carry the seeds of growth. To live with daily gratitude is to live with daily strength. It sharpens your vision, helping you see opportunities others miss. It keeps your emotions balanced, allowing you to respond instead of react. It lifts your energy, drawing people toward you, and creating a natural magnetism that no amount of superficial charm can replicate. But gratitude demands discipline. It asks you to be intentional, to pause when life feels heavy, and to deliberately shift your focus. It requires you to stop looking at what is missing and start appreciating what is present. And the more you practice this discipline, the more natural it becomes. One day, you will realize that gratitude is no longer something you do, it is who you are. There will be mornings when it feels difficult to find something to be grateful for. Perhaps you are facing loss, failure, or uncertainty. In those moments, dig deeper. Be grateful for the strength to keep moving. Be grateful for the wisdom that comes through hardship. Be grateful that you have been given another chance to rise. Gratitude is not reserved for good days. It is most powerful on the hard ones. When you live this way, when you train your mind to always seek the good, your entire life transforms. Problems shrink because your focus shifts from what you cannot control to what you can. Stress loses its power because your heart is anchored in appreciation. And happiness ceases to be an emotion that comes and goes. It becomes a constant state of being rooted in the unshakable practice of gratitude. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. It turns every breath into a reminder of the gift you've been given. And when gratitude becomes your foundation, peace and strength are no longer things you chase. They are things you carry within you wherever you go. Building a life of peace, strength, and happiness requires more than desire, it requires structure. You cannot drift through your days and expect to arrive at the shores of purpose. You cannot allow the hours to control you and still hope to master your mind. If you want to live with clarity and balance, you must build consistent daily routines, deliberate systems that shape your thoughts, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your discipline. Every day, the world will compete for your attention. It will try to drag you into chaos, noise, and distraction. Without a system, without a personal plan for your mind, your energy, and your time, you will fall victim to the pull of that chaos. But with a routine, you create order in your life, and where there is order, there is peace. Your morning is the foundation of your day. Guard it with intention. Do not wake up and surrender your mind to the noise of the world, the notifications, the headlines, the opinions of others. Begin your day in silence, in clarity. Sit with yourself and take ownership of your thoughts before anything else claims them. Those first quiet moments in the morning are your greatest weapon for building strength and focus. Feed your mind the way a warrior sharpens his sword. Read something that uplifts you. Speak words of intention to yourself. Visualize the day ahead not as it is, but as you want it to be. See yourself moving through your tasks with calm precision, meeting challenges with strength, and seizing every opportunity that comes your way. That simple act of mental preparation will set you apart from those who stumble blindly into their days. And then build habits that serve you, not habits that control you. Discipline yourself to move your body, to breathe deeply, to engage in physical strength that sharpens mental strength. The body and the mind are partners. When one is weak, the other suffers. Movement builds energy, and energy fuels focus. Create a plan for your hours. Do not leave your time unguarded. for wasted time is the thief of progress. Decide what you will accomplish. Break it down into steps you can take today and take them, no matter how small they seem. Progress, even in small increments, builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. Consistency is the magic ingredient. One disciplined day changes little, but one disciplined day repeated over and over again builds a life of power. Routines, when repeated, harden into habits, and habits form the structure of your future. This is why the most successful, the most peaceful, the most unshakable people in the world are not those who act with intensity for a moment, but those who act with discipline over time. Your routines do not have to be complex. They simply need to be intentional. Perhaps you begin your morning with gratitude, followed by planning your day. Perhaps you dedicate time to growth reading, writing, reflecting before you face the noise of the world. Perhaps you commit to moving your body daily, to nourishing it with good food, to resting it with enough sleep. These are not just habits, they are investments in your mind and spirit, and when the inevitable distractions arrive, when someone else's emergency threatens to consume your energy, when negativity knocks at your door, your routine will protect you. It will remind you of your priorities, of your focus, of who you are becoming. It will allow you to respond with calm instead of react with chaos. Understand this. Success and happiness do not happen in great leaps. They are built brick by brick through the quiet power of daily consistency. Every day you choose discipline over comfort, structure over drift, action over hesitation. You build a stronger version of yourself. At first it may feel difficult. Your mind will resist. It will tell you to stay in bed a little longer, to skip the work, to let the hours slip by. But if you persist, if you build the habit of showing up for yourself, it becomes easier. One day you will realize that your routine is no longer something you do. It is who you are, and with that realization comes freedom. Freedom from chaos, freedom from uncertainty, freedom from the constant feeling of being behind. You will find yourself moving through your days with clarity, with purpose, and with a quiet confidence that radiates strength. A routine is not a cage, it is a pathway. It does not restrict you, it liberates you from the prison of disorder and reaction. When you own your time, you own your mind, and when you own your mind, you own your life. So build your system, protect your mornings, fill your days with habits that elevate you, be consistent even when you don't feel like it. And over time, you will look back and see what few ever realize, that happiness, peace, and strength are not accidents, but the natural result of a life lived with discipline, structure, and intention. Growth is the heartbeat of a fulfilled life. Without growth, the soul becomes restless, stagnant, and weak. You may have comfort, you may have security, you may even have success in the eyes of the world, but if you are not growing, you are silently shrinking. Each day, life presents you with a choice: remain the same or rise above the person you were yesterday. Happiness is not found in idleness. It is found in progress, in the relentless pursuit of becoming more than you were. The mind, like the body, demands exercise. When you challenge yourself to learn, to stretch, to step into discomfort, you feed the deepest part of your being, the part that hungers for expansion. It does not matter how small the steps may seem. Read a page, write a thought, take an action. Each small effort compounds, each deliberate choice builds a stronger, wiser, more capable version of you. Push yourself every single day to grow. Growth is not reserved for the gifted, it is reserved for the disciplined. Most people wait for the perfect time, the perfect condition, the perfect sign to begin. That time never comes. The perfect time is now, and the perfect tool is action. Growth begins the moment you stop waiting and start moving. But growth alone is not enough. True fulfillment is born when you combine growth with service, when you use your progress, your strength, and your wisdom to uplift others. There is a unique form of happiness that no amount of money or achievement can ever replace: the quiet satisfaction of knowing you made someone's burden lighter, that your existence added value to the life of another human being. Service is not always grand. It does not always look like sweeping gestures or public recognition. Sometimes it is as simple as listening when someone needs to be heard, offering a kind word when someone feels unseen, or sharing knowledge that may spark a transformation in another. These small acts ripple outward in ways you may never fully comprehend, shaping lives far beyond your own. When you give freely not from a place of obligation or expectation, but from a place of genuine care, you unlock a power that few ever experience. Contribution expands the soul. It reminds you that your life is not meant to be lived in isolation, that your growth has purpose beyond yourself. The more you serve, the lighter your burdens become, because your focus shifts from your problems to the problems you can help solve. There will be days when growth feels hard, when progress feels slow, when serving others feels thankless. Those are the days you must remember why you started. Growth is not built in a moment, it is built through relentless repetition. Every act of discipline, every small step, every consistent effort compounds into something extraordinary over time. The same is true of service. Every act of kindness plants a seed, and though you may not see it bloom immediately, it always bears fruit. The paradox of growth and service is this: the more you give, the more you grow. The more you step outside of yourself to lift others, the more your own strength deepens. Happiness is not a selfish pursuit. It is a byproduct of contribution. When you make it your mission to leave every place, every person, every situation better than you found it, you will discover a peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Understand this: growth requires discomfort. There is no strength in what is easy. The weights that build your muscles are the very things that challenge them, and the same is true for the mind and the spirit. Do not run from difficulty, embrace it. It is in the struggle that you build resilience. It is in the challenge that you find clarity, and it is in the process of overcoming that you realize just how powerful you truly are. Service, too, requires courage. It is easy to think of yourself first, to guard your energy, your time, your resources. But when you open your heart, when you decide that your life will be about more than just you, you tap into a source of strength that fear cannot touch. You begin to understand that the secret to lasting happiness is not found in what you keep, but in what you give. Day by day, let growth and service become the rhythm of your life. Commit to learning, to evolving, to challenging yourself, and then turn outward and find ways to use that growth for good. As you do, you will notice a quiet shift. The noise of the world grows dim, the chaos loses its power, and your heart rests in a peace that only comes from living with purpose. Happiness is not an accident. It is the natural reward of a life spent in pursuit of growth and in service to others. And when you understand this, when you make growth and contribution your daily mission, you will find that no challenge can shake you, no storm can uproot you, and no circumstance can rob you of the strength and peace you have built within yourself. Consistency is the silent architect of greatness. It is the steady hand that shapes your thoughts, molds your habits, and carves your destiny. You can set the boldest goals, dream the grandest dreams, and speak the strongest affirmations, but without the discipline of consistency, they will all collapse like a house built on sand. Happiness, peace, and strength are not rewards given to those who act with intensity for a moment. They are earned by those who show up for themselves day after day, long after the excitement fades. Each morning, life gives you a choice. You can rise with purpose, keeping the promises you made to yourself, or you can fall back into the comfort of excuses. One path builds strength, the other breeds weakness. Those who master their days understand that consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is not the size of the action that matters, but the persistence of it. One small step, repeated daily, creates more transformation than 1,000 grand gestures performed once and abandoned. Think of a sculptor with a chisel. With every strike, the stone resists. Progress is slow, often invisible, but the sculptor knows that with time, each strike, each deliberate action will reveal the masterpiece hidden within. That is what consistency does for you. It chips away at fear, doubt, and weakness, slowly revealing the strongest version of yourself, the version capable of carrying peace through chaos and happiness through hardship. Understand this truth: you will not always feel motivated. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind, unreliable and unpredictable. But discipline, the discipline to act whether you feel like it or not, that is where power is forged. When you choose action over emotion, consistency over comfort, you take control of your life. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it, step by step, day by day. Consistency builds trust in yourself. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen your belief in who you are. That belief compounds over time, turning doubt into confidence and hesitation into bold action. And when life tests you, because it will, that trust becomes your anchor. You know that you can rely on yourself because you have proven it through the quiet, steady discipline of daily effort. Happiness, too, is born in this discipline. The mind craves structure, and when you give it a rhythm, a predictable pattern of action and reflection, it finds balance. The chaos of the world does not disappear, but it loses its power to disturb your peace. You begin to live with a calm certainty, knowing that no matter what happens, you will do what needs to be done because you have conditioned yourself to show up. But consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. There will be days when you stumble, when you fall short of the standard you have set. Do not let those moments break you. One missed step does not erase the journey. What matters is that you begin again, that you refuse to let temporary failure become permanent defeat. The strongest individuals are not those who never fall, but those who rise over and over with renewed determination. The power of consistency is not limited to personal growth. It radiates outward, touching every area of your life. It strengthens your relationships because people trust those who are steady. It sharpens your focus in your work because habits free your mind from chaos. It fuels your growth because progress compounds effort layered upon effort, discipline stacked upon discipline, until what once felt impossible becomes your reality. There will be days when the results seem invisible, when your progress feels too slow to measure. Those are the moments when most people quit, but understand this: growth is often silent. Seeds grow roots long before they break the surface. The work you do in silence, the consistent actions you take without applause, are preparing you for breakthroughs you cannot yet see. If you want to build a life of peace and strength, you must embrace the slow, steady climb. Stop chasing quick wins and start valuing daily progress. Even the smallest disciplined actions, waking early, expressing gratitude, planning your day, taking one step toward your goals when repeated, create an unshakable foundation. Over time, that foundation becomes the platform from which you rise, higher than you ever imagined possible. And when you look back weeks, months, years from now, you will see the power of your persistence. You will see that happiness was never a moment, never a destination. It was built slowly through consistent choices, deliberate actions, and an unrelenting commitment to growth. Consistency is not glamorous. It will not always feel exciting, but it is the quiet, steady force that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Commit to it, protect it, live it. And one day you will wake to find that the life you once dreamed of is no longer a vision, it is your reality, built one consistent day at a time.